Okay, so I wrote a poem? I don't know, it just had me choose words, so I just chose my favorite words out of them, and I don't know. Natsuki was jumping quite a bit, so I'm guessing... I don't freaking know. We'll see what happens. Maybe... I don't even remember all the words that I chose, so... Sorry, I guess I should have started recording then, but I was gonna see what would happen if it was actually, like, I had to make a poem, so I was just clicking, and then it just kept going through words, so I was like, oh, I'll just pick words that I like, and that kind of fit myself, whatever. We'll find out what happens. How did... how did your voice go again?
Hi again, Ashura. Glad to see you didn't run away on us.
Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Ashura. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Zori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it.
Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. I think I like Natsuki. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monika and manga.
Manga is literature.
Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat.
Don't worry, guys. Ashura always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable.
Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. Yeah. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
I actually almost set the house on fire twice. You two are really good friends.
You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Ashura can become good friends too.
Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation you just put me into.
Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori?
Me?
Not really.
Don't be shy.
It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind.
Sayori made it
Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Alright. Well, here.
Yuri reaches inside her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted.
This is... Stop clicking! How is this girl accidentally being cute? Because shyness is cute? I mean, look at Fluttershy. Come on! I'm gonna keep bringing up My Little Pony, aren't I? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book.
Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monika to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. Poem! But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monika are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm kind of curious to see what Natsuki's doing. Ugh! I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there?
Freaky Monika. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just going to mess it up?
Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga?
You read manga, right?
Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know, anyway?
I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face.
What's that supposed to mean? Just manga. I see. There's a low volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack.
There it is!
Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest.
Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one book missing is probably the keeps hitting irritating sight in the world.
I know that feeling. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Perfect Girls? Is that an actual manga? Might have to look that up. It's a series I've never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible.
If you're going to judge, you can do it through the glass on that door.
She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything.
It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Ashura. Consider this a lesson straight from the Literature Club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact,
Natsuki pulls up the first volume of Perfect Girls from the box.
I'm going to show you exactly why.
She shoves the book right into my hands. Ugh. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire, striking anime feminine poses. Something I'd probably read. Exceedingly Mo.
Don't just stand there.
Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat.
Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that.
Why is that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this? Why am I having this situation with Natsuki? What happened to the poem? What happened to the poem? What's going on? Did I not actually write a poem, or just figure out a situation of which character I'm more connected to? Because Natsuki seems like the character I'd be more connected to, I guess.
Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it.
Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. I'm sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am.
Wow. How long has it been since I read the beginning?
You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then?
Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention?
I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can't talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I love slice of life work. I really do. I kind of grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be a plot? I watch it for the plot! Shut up.
Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with the guy at the ice cream shop, but that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into all their backstories, and when some of the romance starts to happen.
Oh god, it's a romance manga. Yes. Wait, if this manga does exist, I might actually have to get it, because I really like romance.
That's really what makes it so good. There are so many touching parts.
Is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you.
Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean?
Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't seen you at your full power.
Good save.
I like Natsuki. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of bacon in this manga?
Well,
Natsuki pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't want to admit something.
yeah. Why does that matter?
It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right?
That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got this manga. Like I would ever get into anything because it's in a manga.
Okay. Seriously, in all actuality, why is it embarrassing to admit that you like manga? What's wrong with manga? Seriously. Is it because the whole weird, God, what the hell is it called? Otaku aspect of it? If you ask me, I would consider myself an otaku. I love frickin' anime. I love manga. Who doesn't? I mean, I've had long debates about manga and, anime. Like comic book level. Take DC and Marvel, it's like, especially nowadays, and put that in manga and anime. I've had those conversations. And Silva, this is specifically for you. Sebastian Michaelis. I'm so gonna get punched now.
I feel bad for anyone that impressionable.
Okay. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all the hobbies to pick from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. It is. I love baking. Makes me think of Spencer. He loves baking, and he can bake, man. His cupcakes? I love his cupcakes. I'll admit, his cupcakes are they're freaking awesome. Still, oh, I remember that. Not to mention, she's really good at it. So, who am I to judge? That is an adorable picture. We read on for a few more minutes. I finished a couple chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you?
It's not.
Even though you're just watching me read?
Well, I'm fine with that.
If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. Oh man, you have no idea. Especially when you got somebody who, you know, has the same level of interest. I love it. Because, like, for example, me being a brony, and I don't know why I keep bringing this up. I hardly ever bring it up. And even with Sonic 2, I'm a major MLP and Sonic the Hedgehog fan. Like, more so on the Sonic the Hedgehog fan. And it's funny, too, because, you know, I normally wouldn't openly admit that because the fandom is looked at as weird. But the thing is so are bronies, so whatever. But, what was my point? Oh, like, for example, when, I meet a brony out in, you know, randomly in the world, I could just sit there and talk with that person for hours. Literally, I couldn't even know their name, and I could sit there and talk to them for hours. Just because we have a similar interest, and I love that. It's like, you know, you can just see the spark in people's eyes, and I love it. It's so cool, and I hate it when people tell them, it's like, you're annoying, shut up. When somebody's, you know, talking about something that they absolutely love. It's disheartening to see, you know, somebody just have that spark in their eyes and they're starting to talk about what they like, and then it flashes in their mind that they're being annoying, and then the light dies in their eyes, and it's like, no, keep talking. I'm enjoying it, I really am, I love it. But that's the kind of world we live in right now, which... Well, I shouldn't say that's the kind of world we live in. It's like, I've seen plenty of people like that, and it sucks. I even had people do that, and... You know, when I get somebody who says, you know, shut up, you're being annoying, I'm like, fuck you! I'm gonna say what I want, you know? It's like, I am who I am. I'm not going to change for anybody else, and no one should have to hide who they are. Natsuki, if you like manga... You like bacon, and you got into bacon because of manga. I admire that. I honestly admire that. I really do. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't?
That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know.
What do you mean? Don't you share manga with your friends?
Could you not rub it in? Jeez.
Sorry.
Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids.
Okay. That is a misconception. So many people who have actually read manga would not give it to their kids. No. No! I mean, like, there is manga for kids, but the actual weight, like, seriously. There are manga out there that, you know, certain adults should not read. I love Japan. I love it. Like, I love their culture. But fuck some of the shit that they're into. Although, you could say the same thing about Americans. You really could.
You still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face.
Ugh. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. Loser. 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 I am a loser. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Actually, I did it the wrong way. Actually, no, in the camera, that would be right. This looks backwards. In the camera, this is right. But this is how you actually do it. Wait. No. Double the loser! I don't know what I'm doing back Sorry. But it's probably harder for someone like you.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Wait, which part?
I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica is kind of a jerk about it. Ugh, I just can't win, can I?
Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it.
Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems.
Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right?
So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what?
Yeah. I flip the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing.
I totally forgot this happened.
Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels.
Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her, since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter.
Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. See, I was just talking about that! And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience. And the thought that... Bleh! The thought makes me smile a little to myself.
Okay, everyone. Are you all ready with today's poems?
I knew it! The poem! Okay, maybe this isn't... Maybe that's how the story is supposed to go. I don't frickin' know.
Oh, come on! Could your timing be any worse?
Sorry.
I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though, you do look pretty cozy over there.
Natsuki suddenly notices how close she gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright. Guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki.
You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens?
Yeah, but... Monica just said...
Don't be dumb. Just take it home with you.
Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I really didn't plan on using my spare time to read this.
Well, of course. It would take forever to finish it if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow, so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you.
By tomorrow? No offense to some of my friends, but I've lent books, and one friend specifically liked to do this with the pages as she read, and it would bend the book, and I wanted to strangle her a little bit. Alright. I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose it's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag.
By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before.
Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait.
That is not her voice.
I can't wait.
Ciara and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Ciara Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? You know what? I started the day off with Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I share mine with her first.
Okay, well, let's start with the things I don't like. First of all,
Natsuki rereads my poem.
never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I wanted to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said.
Well, I wouldn't be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad.
Say mine's good? I just picked words. I didn't actually make a poem.
You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha! Well, it's not like that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy.
Frickin' women! So, in other words, you're saying you liked it? Suki retort gets caught in her throat.
You're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important.
Pretty sure you never actually said that. I said that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. Can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she really liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? How about congested? I hate it.
Fine, I guess.
Ugh. Sorry.
Only because Monica will make me if I don't.
Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. That last part doesn't really make sense. But that's about it. People can try, but that's about it. I mean, like, I get the point. But it's kind of a simple poem. People can try, but that's about it. Basically, what I get from the poem, and it may not seem like poetry is a very, very complex thing. That poem, you know, right from the beginning seems like it's very simplistic, and it's just listing off, you know, things that things can do, but that's actually the actual genius behind the poem. It's the last part of it. It may sound weird, but that's kind of the point. Basically, it's saying that all these things can do this. They are guaranteed to do this. That they excel at it. But people can only try. And that doesn't necessarily mean that... Sorry. Okay. Back to what I was saying. The last part of it... people can try, but that's about it. We as humans, we as people, can try anything. but it doesn't mean that we're going to excel at it. A cheetah, no matter what, is going to be able to run fast, unless if it's, you know, basically born with a deformity or whatever, and nature takes its course with that. Eagles are guaranteed to basically fly. You know, all animals in the world are guaranteed to do something. But humans really don't. We could try it writing, but we could end up being bad. Or, we could, try and... I'm trying to think of more things to go with it. Like, think of getting a new game. You know, you got the newest Call of Duty game, and you haven't played Call of Duty in a while. But you used to play Call of Duty all the time. You're expecting to go into it, you know, very good, but you actually suck. This analogy does not work. Sorry. I was trying to go into a deeper level with the poem because it doesn't seem like it's a very good poem from, you know, the beginning, right from when you look at it, but it's got a lot of depth to it. It really does. If you think about that last part of it, that last part is the key to the poem. People can try, but that's about it.
Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it. I'm glad that the character actually said that, because I love the poem. I actually do.
What? Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff.
No, writing could be very simple. Literally anybody can write. Grammar, you know, punctuation, yes, it is a key element when it comes to writing, but the thing is that you can have somebody proofread it, overlook it, and then change some things. Doesn't mean that, you know, they changed anything, really. They just made it seem a little bit better for, you know, more circumstances for reading. But the thing is that literature and grammar is not perfect. I mean, like, take for example how we use the word literally. I literally just died. Oh, I can't believe she looked at me like that. Oh. You didn't literally die. Literally has been used wrong pretty much ever since the existence of the damn word. But that's neither here nor there. Well, it's exactly here, but whatever.
So people don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid.
Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. See everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening.
You have no idea. I basically played second fiddle my entire life.
So I decided to write about it.
Yeah, I understand.
But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set it for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose.
I did catch that. I did.
It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
Like I said, the whole point of that poem is the last bit of that line. It really is. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's not true. I realized a lot.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya?
Yeah, I guess not. I decide to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, who should I show my poem to next? How about Monica?
Hi, Ashura. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
Of course.
Oh, of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to share your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Ashura. We're a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem.
I like it, Ashura. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected.
Shut up.
Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write.
Okay.
And she's a good writer, too. So, take that as a compliment.
If you say so.
Yep.
Seriously, I literally just picked words that I liked. I really did. I was trying to come up with a poem, like, literally from the first line, because I thought it was going to start with a word, and then it was going to have a sentence, and then another word, sentence, word, sentence, word, sentence, but it was just literally picking words, so I just went with that. If anybody wants me to write a poem, I'll write a poem. I really will. I don't mind that. Like I said, I dabble with writing, so, and I used to write poems all the time.
By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein?
Nope. Maybe a long time ago. Nope.
He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words.
If you read, like, Edgar Allan Poe,
his poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody.
I see.
So you're saying...
Oh, so you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that?
Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore.
I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this.
That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kind of styles. But I'll always help you find what suits you the most. And that's the thing, if you're getting into writing, write. Literally just write. You know, and that's one thing that I had to, go with is, my writing, my fanfics weren't popular. Nothing I'd write was really popular. I didn't really show anybody. And like they said at the beginning, the hardest person to write for is yourself. You are your worst critic. There's no denying that. You will always be harsher on yourself than anyone, ever. So literally, if you go writing a book and it gets published, honestly, just the fact that it got published should be reward enough. Because if people are bashing on your thing and that's what you see, that's the thing. People look at the negative side of things and that's all you're going to see. I guarantee if you write a book and it's published, you have probably people who are looking at your book and they love it, but they might not be open about it. And people are so quick to tell people, the negative. But people need to remember that, we need to tell everybody the positives about stuff too. Seriously. If something good happens, tell someone. It can make somebody's day a whole lot better. It's like when I go out to eat
And, you know, if I see the same person, I went to Taco Bell and twice in one day, and I ran to the same guy, and I like the service. He was a nice guy, and that's just a simple thing, you know. It is just a simple thing, you know. But I think it made his day too, and it made my day too, because it made me feel good. So, but back to the game. I need to stop getting so philosophical here.
So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write.
I'll just let the game tell you what I'm trying to tell you.
It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now?
Yes!
Don't worry, I'm not very good.
You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good.
Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know.
And that's the thing, confidence is something that you generally feign. I see.
Well, let's read it then.
Oh, well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See? That erection the spackle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film let out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas already scorched with a prominent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Ooh, that's actually a very deep poem.
So what do you think?
Do you really want me? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback.
It's okay.
How I take it, it's somewhat of a depressing poem. Basically, it's like, think of it as you're in a box. And you basically live your whole life in that box. And then, next thing you know, there's this hole that you're looking through. And basically, you know, you're living in this box. But the thing is you don't know you're living in this box. You really don't. And then you see a hole. And that's when you realize you're looking from the inside. And you're seeing someone. And that person is someone who's showing you new stuff that's outside the box. So basically, they punched a hole through the box. Now you're looking through, seeing them, and they're looking through that hole, seeing you. Basically, it's a side. How I take it, anyways. It's seeing another side outside of your spectrum. You know, but that's just what I got out of it.
Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the time between words and lines. When performed out loud, it could be really powerful.
What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit.
An epiphany?
Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that. But it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monika's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point, aka writer's block. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. If you try and focus on one thing, you start losing your idea. It's usually better to just kind of let the story write itself. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today.
That is sound advice. You could actually take that into real life. Don't stay in one place. If you're comfortable, punch yourself out of it, go into an uncomfortable area. But don't go skydiving, jump out into it. If you're in a place that's completely uncomfortable, you somewhat need to still stay in a comfortable area too. Basically, take a leap without taking too much risk, but do take a little bit of risk.
Thanks for listening.
Alright, I think I'll do Sayori last, because then, well, I don't know, they might have an end thing where we walk home, or whatever. So, Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes. More than enough time for her to finish reading.
Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking.
Oh, that's still her. It's fine, don't force yourself.
I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it.
So it's that bad?
No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry.
Yuri buries her face in her hands. She's such a Fluttershy. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying?
Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened.
Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, she sounds like an expert.
Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things.
Exactly.
I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though.
Bias? How?
Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry.
It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now?
Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it.
Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Is it bathing? Battling? Battling? Battling. Battling. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, callous, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flicks. I flicker back. Oh, the light flickers, I flicker back. Sorry, cursive is not... I have a hard time reading cursive. Just because it kind of meds together a little bit. This one is a little bit more of a... It kind of go this to me a little bit. Mainly because it's basically talking about how at least from what I get from it, it's the lest yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. The part that I'm confused about is what's the blue-green hue? What is that representing? And basically, from what I get from it, is Yuri is afraid of the future. She's afraid of being replaced. Or maybe she's afraid of change, is kind of what I get from it. I think that's about good.
I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting.
It's like this game knows. What? I wasn't thinking that at all.
But it took you a long time to read.
Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. It is pretty. Cursive is actually very, very pretty, and I like calligraphy, which is the art form of writing. Literally just, like, it's fancy writing. It's basically what it is.
That's a relief.
Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive.
It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems.
Not at all.
I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild.
Excuse me.
Something easy to digest, I suppose.
Whoops. Are you into ghosts, Yuri?
Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Ashura.
Really? I must have totally missed the point. I don't know if I missed the point. Maybe.
Well, I suppose you did only glance over it, after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost.
Oh, I completely overlooked the whole ghost aspect. She feels like a ghost. If that's where she's going, that's kind of what I'm getting now.
Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past.
Yup. She's afraid of change.
And soon to be left without nothing.
That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. I did, actually. I kind of did. That's oppressive.
It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that.
Oh, excuse me.
Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on those things, too.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying.
I'm counting on you.
Ah! Who should I show my poem to next? Excuse me, janitor who's walking past the classroom. Would you like to see my poem? No? Alright, I guess I'll just show Sayori next. Okay.
This is a good poem, Ashura. Are you sure it's your first time?
Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time?
I guess you're right. But that's why it depressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now.
Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, Ashura. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you. Alright.
Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay. Now, you'll read my poem too, right?
No!
Don't worry. I'm really bad at this.
Why does everybody think that they're bad at writing poetry? So far, not one of them has been bad. I love them. We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. That last part. I'm pretty sure it's because she was hungry. But this is literally probably the simplest poem that you could probably come up with. And I'm not diminishing it. I'm not saying that it's a bad poem or anything. Basically, it's just saying that the sun helps her greet the day. It helps her get out in the morning, and that's one thing that she looks at it as, you know, during the day is the sunshine makes her feel so vibrant and free. And that's what makes her basically jump out of bed. This is, like I said, it's a very simple poem. There's not really a hidden meaning behind it. It's like straight there. You get it just from reading it. Except for that last part is I want breakfast. That line is really out of place. So, but I find it funny too. That line right there, if it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. Basically saying, you know, son, I'm okay with you waking me up. And, you know, sometimes that does happen. You know, I've got people, like, when in school, my sisters always woke me up, but they would always be like, wake up! You're gonna be late for school! You know, they'd yell at me to wake up. Well, you know, my mom would just open my door and she'd just be like, it's time to get up. And I'd just wake up, like that. I'd be up and ready for the day. And, you know, it's like, I'm a mama's boy, I don't care. I'm a mama's boy. Whatever. Alright. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to yes or a no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah. I liked it. It's simple. The only line in it that's out of place is the I want breakfast. But, you know, even in that can be the simplest thing, because how often do people actually eat breakfast? They really don't. A lot of people don't eat breakfast. I wish I ate breakfast. But I'm dumb, so. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school.
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Yeah, just like my sisters. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever.
Well, I guess I look forward to it. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poem can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's why I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Mona... Why do I keep struggling with her name? Monika are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language?
What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing.
Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand.
I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute?
Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Ashura did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Ashura liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was inspired by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Ashura appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Ashura started showing up. Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you, people.
Oh no, what's going on? Oh, what's going on here?
I don't like fighting, guys.
Suddenly, both girls turn towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there.
Ashura. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective.
But both your guys' writing style is effective.
Then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Ashura. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Ashura?
Do not force me to choose. Don't. Oh, you're gonna force me to choose. There's no middle ground, is there? There's not gonna be a middle ground.
Well,
How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. I don't know what to do. I mean, like, I agree with both of them, I really do. Help me, Sayori! Natsuki! Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead, I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori? Yeah? Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Ashura?
well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place.
We've come full circle!
Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why. Exactly why nobody likes you.
Oh, Natsuki, that's...
Stop! Suki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of the differences. Natsuki's poems. They're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because! Well, also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same as they always were. Big and beautiful.
Sayori. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monika stands behind her and with bewildered expression.
I'll make some tea.
Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president? I whispered to Monika. Oh. I guess this is why Sayori is vice president? She nods in return.
To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me.
Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either.
Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she?
You could say that. I'm glad they had a third option, because I literally would have sat here. I would have sat here for 2 hours. Because I can't think one way or the other. It's like, it's not black and white to me. That's not how I look at things. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing.
I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt.
That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monika smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more.
Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Sure, how about you?
Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone.
Awesome. In case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow.
Oh, God.
And maybe you learned something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better.
I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. See, that's what this game is trying to do, is it's trying to make me focus on one specific character. And so far, I'm pretty sure that's Natsuki, but I'm not going to interjectedly shoot for Natsuki. I'm going to play the game how I would. I'm not going to interject, be like, focus on Natsuki. I'm going to play the game as were me. I'm not going to whatever. I nodded myself with the newfound determination.
Ashura, ready to walk home?
Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier.
What do you mean?
You know, between Yuri and Natsuki? Does that kind of thing happen often?
No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise, they're both wonderful people. They don't... You don't hate them, do you?
No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they make good friends with you.
Phew. You know, Ashura, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is making me the happiest. And I think everyone likes you too.
That's...
Every day is going to be so much fun.
Did I just say sigh? That technically is saying sigh. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Well, we'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this. Oops. Alright. So, I think this was a bit longer than the last time. Just like last time, I'm going to end it here. This time, I'll actually record what I picked this time. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep recording. I think this is how I'm able to actually get videos out consistently if I just keep recording. So, and yes, you can see the time. It's late as hell. Sleeping schedule? I don't have a sleeping schedule. Yeah. So, thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed. Sorry for a lot of my insightful BS. I'm going to say, whatever. But all in all, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll check y'all in the next video. Have a good night.